Hello there, welcome to Perfect Pronunciation Academy. Today I'll be talking about how can you identify your common speech errors without talking to anyone else. So stay tuned. How do we identify our speech errors when we speak? There's a couple of ways of doing them. First one is listening to the consonants in your speech. So our speech is made up of consonants and vowels in the way we speak. The first part you have to look at is the consonants. What do I mean by consonants? They are those alphabets that do not have A, E, I, O, U. That's pretty much it. The most common sounds that people make errors on, the most common consonant sounds that people make errors on are the TH, the sound, the N sound, at the end of words, O, L sound, maybe at the start of words, or the end, meaning like fall. I can't think of another word. The R sound, so rabbit or Russia, or the way you say production, P-R-O, or produce. So those are consonant words. And I named a couple of the common consonant words that you should be looking out for. Very important is to look out for the last sound of words, which is your past tense and your plurals. Firstly, see that you're including them when you speak in your conversation or even when you're reading out aloud. Listen to yourself and go, did I complete that word? Did I complete the last sound of the word? Because that will help so much with clarity. You wouldn't believe so much. Number two, you have to look at the mistakes you make when you're speaking using vowels. Now, vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and they can be said in many, many different ways. So R, O, those kind of sounds. Interesting thing about vowels, they change the length of a word and they change the meaning of a word. Vowel lengths differ in every country and in every state, I should think. So even if you're in Australia, the person in Sydney could be speaking different to the person in Perth, and that's because the vowel length might be a bit different. So have a listen to your vowels and how they differ to your fellow speaker. So if you're thinking of a word called a D-A-T-A, so do you say data? Do you say data? I know for a fact people in Australia say data. I used to say data. So it's no incorrect way or correct way, but I guess if it changes the meaning of a word like S-H-I-P, S-H-E-E-P, ship, sheep. Now that makes a difference to the meaning of the word. So, I saw a big ship in the water. You wouldn't say I saw a big sheep on the water. So just make sure that the way you're pronouncing your vowels do not change the meaning of the words. Number three is error in the way that you speak, which is the rate of your speech. And what do I mean by rate of speech? That is the speed of your speaking. Some countries and some cultures, people speak really loud or really fast. So you have to look at the differences between your language, your culture, and English. And the intonation that you use. Now, intonation and melody of speech differs in every language. So every language has got its own intonation. What do I mean by intonation? Simply put, it's like the musicality of language. So I'm not Italian by any means, but I know how Italians would have a very nice flowing singing, hello, how are you doing? Or something like that, how are you over there? That's me just being really silly. So any Italian listeners out there, I apologize for such a pathetic accent. But you get my meaning. They have a very different way and melody of speaking. So have a think. Listen to your melody of your speech and compare it to the melody of maybe the country that you're living in and see how different or how similar you are. Because the more similar you are with the melody, it's almost like singing, then you're a lot more clearer and a lot more able to be understood. So there's three things you have to look out for: your consonant sounds, your vowel sounds, and the way you speak, your speed, your volume, your intonation, your melody of speaking, so many things, right? So many things. Don't get overwhelmed. I'll just say start with one. And I would say easiest to start with is your consonants. Listen to the sounds and go, okay, I'm saying that sound differently. How do I say it correctly? Awesome. That's my tip for today. If you'd like more tips, be sure to join my email list at perfectpronunciationacademy.com. Wrong way to point. It's there. Click on it and pick up my private exclusive freebies that are unadvertised to the public. I will see you there. Point to the right place. See you later. Bye.